Good afternoon, I'm Meg Gatto.
And I'm Lauren McCoy. An Uber driver who was also an NOPD employee is murdered outside a Jefferson Parish hotel after she picked up a passenger in New Orleans.
As Natasha Robin reports, deputies say the suspect told investigators his motive was simple. He just wanted to kill someone.
Truly an extremely lovely person.
54-year-old Yolanda Dillion, an Uber driver and NOPD employee, murdered outside the Travel Lodge Hotel on the West Bank Expressway in Harvey. Deputies arrested this man, 29-year-old Brandon Jacobs, for what investigators call a random, brutal act of violence.
His confession basically was stated that he woke up yesterday morning and decided he was going to kill someone, and decided that was going to be the day.
Sheriff Joe Lapinto says Dillion, working for Uber, picked up Jacobs in New Orleans and gave him a ride here to the hotel where he was staying. Moments after arriving, Lapinto says Jacobs brutally stabbed Dillion in the parking lot.
He was in the back seat, stabbed from behind, exited the vehicle, and then just walked away casually.
Dillion died at the hospital. Only a couple of hours later, investigators took Jacobs into custody, and during an interview with him, Lapinto says they got a full confession.
Now, when we asked him specifically, how did you pick her, his response was, I didn't pick her, Uber picked her. Meaning that she was the random person that picked him up that day.
Deputies say they also learned that Jacobs posted gruesome video of what he said he did on Facebook.
Very, very unfortunate situation to the point of he actually videotaped the incident, or the aftermath of the incident, posted on social media.
The video is now removed. Dillion, an Uber driver, was also a 10-year civilian employee of the NOPD.
She's very quiet. She's very humble. Like a quiet giant, a little giant, I would say, because she was big in stature and what she did and what she meant to this department. And it tore our employees up this morning.
Chief Sean Ferguson says Dillion worked as a fiscal budget analyst and was loved by so many.
But she was caring for her mother. Her mother is sick as well. So she had been the caretaker of her mother for the last several years. Truly an extremely lovely person.
Tonight, her family tries to cope with the senseless murder of a woman who investigators say was only doing her job.
This is definitely something that blindsided everyone.
Deputies continue to investigate, but Sheriff Joe Lapinto says Jacobs remains locked up on a second-degree murder charge. Natasha Robin, Fox 8, Local First.
After hearing all that, and knowing that this person took an innocent woman's life for no reason just to do it, my only response is, why would I ever listen to any people who are saying we should abolish the police? Why would I listen to anybody saying defund the police? Why would I listen to any politician saying don't call them criminals, call them incarcerated individuals? Because you people that say these things, you live in such a bubble that I honestly am interested in trying to study. Because on what grounds could you look at any situation and try to step in front of actual victims and say, this is an opportunity for us to start talking about defunding or abolishing the police. This is an opportunity to start talking about respecting criminals who actively do things that hurt other people. I'm sorry, but all you people that do that, you sound dumb. Some of you might have an argument and actually might make a coherent statement, but to the idiots that like to complain about people defending themselves and using proper precaution in a situation that would benefit them if a criminal were to try to harm them, you are the weirdest human beings on the planet because you live in that bubble of insecurity and Disneyland mentality where you think, my idea is the right idea. And anyone who's speaking against it, anyone using logic, anyone using actual evidence to back up their claims against what I'm talking about because I got my information and my fee-fees from Twitter, oh my God, they're hating on marginalized communities. No, when you've taken the police out, when you've defunded them, more crime has sparked up. I don't care if it's in these Democratic cities. I don't care if it's in these Republican cities. It has happened. It's confirmed. There's information and statistics to back this up. But of course, I gotta hear all these weird excuses. Oh, it's police. It's their presence in communities. It's police brutality. It's poverty. Why can't it just be a sick human being? Even when they admit it, whether if it's a situation like this, a school shooting, a robbery, a break-in somebody's home, why can't it just be somebody who's sick in the head who wants to come up off an innocent human being and wants to harm them? Why can't it just be something like that? Why I gotta sit here and have conversations with people who think they can talk over somebody who actually has experience being in low income, being in poverty, being in middle class, and being able to afford his own lifestyle at the current moment, how are you going to sit here and look me dead in the eye and say, oh, this happened because of poverty. Oh, it happened because a lot of people don't have enough money, so they seek out criminal activity. If that's the case, you got a lot of poor people who exist in all these different neighborhoods who y'all don't help. Are they allowed to come rob you? Are you going to sit there and smile as they break into your home, as they pick your pockets, as they steal from you, your mother, your father, your grandmother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your dog? Is it okay for them to rob you? Of course it's not, because in the land of that weird bubble a lot of you live in, there's hypocrisy. And if somebody does something criminal to other people or companies or brands, it's perfectly fine because they have insurance and poverty is the reason. But if it happens to you, you're going to want people to care. And I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but if you're going to have that mindset for yourself, you need to have that mindset for everybody else in existence who didn't do anything wrong, and they're at the mercy and the fault of somebody who just wants to come up off of them. I'm tired of this weird game of making excuses for people who do not deserve it. I want this person locked up, and we all know my stance about willingly taking people's lives without cause. You do it, you get your life taken. But that's really not how it's gonna go in my estimation. I don't think they're gonna give him the death penalty, and I'm perfectly content with knowing that this person should get life for what they did because they're a sick human being. I don't care about trying to reform them, because when you take people out of prisons, they go right back to doing things that they deem natural. Why? Because they're criminals. They don't care. They don't value. You can pretend that, oh my God, they've always been in a system of needing help and the government and the justice system didn't do anything to help them. But guess what? They're still going about and not having the community that claims to care about them so much actually helping them. So they're just going to rinse and repeat the same process and go right back to jail. So unless somebody has a bright idea on how to be able to fix community and the community issues, because calling it out, being a black person calling out black people, or being a white person calling out white people, being any group calling out a group for doing stupid shit automatically makes you a hater of that community. Figure out the idea, because abolishing prisons, I'm never going to be a part of that. Defunding the police, we've already seen that doesn't really do anything except get more people to complain about the police when they don't show up because they've been underfunded. People's jobs have been cut. People have openly left because they don't want to deal with people calling them attackers and police brutality, human beings who just target marginalized communities. When you come up with an idea better that could actually help out innocent people, I'll gladly listen. But until then, I don't want to hear nobody talk about abolishing the police. Subscribe to the channel. Get the fuck out of here.
We have enough people who are there for people who break the law. I'm a person that's there for people who follow the law. And as I saw it from the video, I saw a worker here inside the store following the law. And he should not have been approached in the manner that he was approached. And I think it's time for New Yorkers and Americans to start standing up for people who follow the law. And that's what I'm going to do.